If the news is that important, it will find me. This is a sentence from a college student reported by Brian Stelter of the New York Times, which changes completely the way you consume news. You used to go to the New York Times or to other news sources to get, like a digest, a summary. Now it's all over the place. If you think about the beginning of blogging, you used to be very focused on your own blog, and that's where I would get the news, would get feedback, would get comments. It's completely gone. This is entirely decentralized. And this is a post I wrote, and I quickly drafted what I call my social map. It's basically what I believe are the most important services right now and the one I consume. I had no idea it would be such an important conversation over the weekend. It was first picked up by Michael Harrington at TechCrunch, and then it went on top of TechMeme with, I think, more than 70 blogs linked to that story. Some of the people actually even started drawing their own social maps like I did, and Justin Davey started gathering them on one site. What is your social map? Where is your attention going on when you go online? You've not been at your computer for a few hours. What is it that you start with? I personally start by the obvious one and the most boring one, email. I then try to get an aggregated view of my different social software. So I start by a page I've set up on NetVibes, which gives me a summary of my mail, the blogs that matter for me, gives me a summary of TechMeme, Technorati, Google Blog Search, things that matter to me, of course, like Seesmic. Then I check my replies, generally on Twitter, which is, all day long. I communicate on this. I check the videos I may have as a reply in my conversations or in my inbox at Seesmic. I go and check my Facebook inbox. Right now it has like 900 emails in there. When I meet somebody like this morning, I generally check him up in LinkedIn, because then I have a pretty good updated bio. I know who knows him, and I can have some context around him. Social software generally turns into physical events, and I always check before going to a party or to an event how many of my friends are going, using Upcoming or using Doppler that tells you where your friends are going. And it may turn into, of course, like a big event like Le Web in Paris, December 9 and 10. Coming to me are images as well, coming from Flickr, obviously, and from all my friends, which is news in a way. My friends share links using Delicious all the time, and these are very interesting. Just a link, just a quick URL, whether it is on Delicious or on Twitter, can be very, very important. And I check those. I'm very bad at knowing music generally, so I like to learn from my friends at services like Last.fm, which shows you how powerful social software is. It doesn't touch just your information, but also music, anything. Of course, there are many more services than this, like video. I use YouTube all the time, and many others. I can't quote them all, but have a look at the map or your own map. What's more important than checking is then sharing as well a little bit. You just don't consume information from your friends, you actually share to your friends. So what I use is Typepad, which is my blog host since the beginning, since I was, head of Six Apart Europe. Movable Type is great. WordPress is very popular. So sharing information like I do on this show, Loic.tv, I publish it on YouTube, on Seesmic, on my blog, on Facebook. You share it, right? I may delicious it. So you see the problem. Both with consuming information, the good news is if you are in all those services, it finds you. And actually, I notice that I go less and less to the mainstream news. I go if a friend points me to a news. So it changed totally from 5 years ago, where everything was kind of centralized in your mail, mainstream media, and your blog. Now it's all over the place. And honestly, I like it. It's very decentralized, but I would like it back on my blog. And my mail, make it simple for me to read it. Just go to one source and read it, which is what FriendFeed, Social Thing, and my blog log to some extent are trying to do, put all the services together so that you go to only one place. You can check your feed of information, you can check your friends' feed of information, and you get it all. Same with sharing. You should be able to go to a central place and you put your video, for example, it goes to all the services. Facebook really gets this very, very well. And there are open initiatives, for example, like OpenID, which get your identity into a data format which is open and can be shared amongst all the services. Data portability, another initiative by Chris Saad, a good friend, is also very interesting, where he tries to open up this information and share it among services so that you don't have to go in all the places. Storyboy is saying that it won't happen, that the times where it was centralized on one service or on your blog is over. But you know why I want it back on my blog? Just because I own it. It's my place. I can have my background, I can have my design, I can make it look the way I want, I can have it under my domain. We need the conversation to be centralized somewhere, maybe somewhere open where I kind of control it. FriendFeed is integrating comments below every single piece of information, which I think I really, really like. If the news is important, yeah, it will find me. Who said that, by the way? So what is your social map? Draw it, and you can send it to Justin Davy, and we will all see our patterns. I'd love to meet you in all those services, of course. So if you want to add me, I'll add you back. I'm either Loic Lemer or LOIC Loic. Not like I share it on Facebook, I blog it. Just pause for a second. Hello?